TV. Hi friends, welcome to Catskill Animal Sanctuary.
In this week's episode of Virtual Sanctuary.
Anybody there? Hello? Hello, is anybody there?
Yes.
Anybody on Facebook?
Yes.
Anybody home?
Yes.
Yay, Aaron's there. Hello, Aaron. I didn't think we had any friends. Oh, now there's 3 eyeballs. Now we have 3 eyeballs.
Yeah.
Yay, welcome friends. Hello, hello.
The internet takes time to send
I
through
see
the
that. It takes a minute.
particles. Come on, Andrea, you're not that
everybody.
old.
I mean, you remind me every day, Cameron. Hi, Janine. Hello, everybody. Thanks so much for joining, coming on in here. We are live at Catskill Animal Sanctuary. I am Andrea. I'm here with Cameron behind the camera.
Hello.
And in front of our camera, we have the fabulous Annie and the fabulous Lauren and the also fabulous Rose Willow.
Right on cue.
Oh, sweetheart. We miss you too, Janine and Sherry, and everybody watching. We miss you. Hi, Sherry. We miss you. So we are here live today, and obviously we have humans and goats, but we're actually have Annie here from our animal care team. She's our health care manager here at the sanctuary. And so she's going to be a special guest for us today to talk actually about, in case you've seen it on the news, the avian influenza, the highly pathogenic, yes, Andy? Avian influenza. So we're gonna get a crash course on that today. Ooh, sheep in the background. Ooh.
Yes, and we are very specifically not hanging out with the avians to talk about
On
the
purpose.
avian influenza. Once again, we do know what a chicken is. We know that this is not a chicken.
These are not chickens.
Don't worry about it.
That's a goat. Those are sheep. But they can be honorary chickens for the day. So we are here to talk about that today. So let us know where you're joining us from in the chat, please. We love to hear. And give the award out for the furthest viewer. I still think it's Portugal to date. So that's pretty exciting. I know. I was super pumped. So you know Lauren, and you know Rosie, actually. Hi, Rosie. We've introduced you before. But Annie has been a special guest on Virtual Sanctuary with us recently with the arrival of our baby goats. But we didn't really give her a whole lot of chance to talk about herself and introduce herself to us. So I think that's a great place to start, actually, Annie, if you want. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your story and what you do here? And
As the sheep are all sneaking up on us.
which is so perfect.
And in fact, even Izzy is back there. Have
She
we really gotten
is.
Izzy?
Not with the sheep recently.
Oh,
Not
okay.
much. So
No,
lots
they're
of
not
visitors today. Lots of special guests. The sheep are like, wait, we want in on this. Also, Annie is there, so it's time for snuggles. So yeah, Annie, if you want to just tell us anything you want to share with our viewers here about you and your what you do here and what's up? How you came to be at Catskill Animal? What's your rescue story? Someone said to Carrie. Tell us your rescue story.
I started at CAS as an intern 5 or 6 years ago. It was a 2-month internship, a great experience. They asked me to stay on as animal care staff, and I jumped at the chance. You should finish telling my story.
Nina. Camera. You're hogging the camera.
Oh, but she does the lip wiggle.
Oh, you're silly.
All right.
That's when you find a good spot on a sheep is in the name.
I think we've. Oh, look
Okay.
at this. We're gonna lose Annie to the sheep pile.
I think that's fine. You just have
Which
to
is great. That's
maybe
okay.
speak up a little
Just
bit.
make sure you project.
So I started as an intern, made it to the animal care program as part of the animal care team. I stayed for about 2 years or so, and I was doing school part-time at the time, and it was just taking a long time, so I ended up quitting my job and left to school full-time. Finished my degree 2 years ago, year and a half ago.
Wow, congrats.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
But yeah.
What did you study?
Environmental biology is what I
Oh
studied
my
my
gosh.
master's in.
you guys can geek out together.
Oh yeah.
We have two biologists.
Oh, yeah.
Who knew? Who knew? Fun fact, 2 resident biologists.
This one, not this one.
Although Nina's like, me? Oh, sorry, Cameron. I didn't mean to like take over. I just wanted to point out the other resident biologist.
Yeah, I came back to CAS as summer jobs and stuff throughout that time. And I graduated into the pandemic, which was a great time to
It was a great time to be alive.
They offered me, CAS offered me my job back as animal care for the summer. And by the end of the summer, they offered me the healthcare manager role. And I said yes.
And Annie teaches us all sorts of fun things when we help with animal care. Like, I called her on the radio and told her that I found something with the chickens that I didn't think was poop. And she's like, is it a lash egg? And I said, I have no idea what that looks like. So she teaches us all sorts of cool stuff, sciencey stuff.
Good for a gross thing.
Oh,
We love gross things.
Lash eggs, pretty gross.
Yeah.
They
Don't look up
definitely,
pictures of that.
yeah, no,
If
don't
it's
be
lunchtime,
Googling
don't look up
that.
pictures of
Yeah.
that. You don't
unless
need
you like gross things, and it's really cool.
that. Then you like gross things. Then.
So Annie teaches us all about all the gross things. So that's pretty fun. But also just not gross things, and just animal things. So wealth of knowledge, and super fun to work with Annie. And so that is actually why we are so glad to have Annie here today to talk to us a little bit about this avian influenza, avian flu. You've probably seen it in the news maybe by now. And so we want to fill everybody in and give you the inside scoop on all of that nonsense. So also, if you have questions, make sure to put them in the chat for us, please. Janine or Sherry, I can't remember. I'm sorry, friends. One of them said that Nina's a rocket scientist.
Obviously. You've got the inquisitive mind of a scientist.
Oh, for sure.
And that's a Stewie, his buns, and an Atticus. In case we'll test you at the end here. See who, and a Bertha in the background. She's so sweet. Look at that sweet face. She is being brave.
She's really shy. Bertha is the kind of in the middle there, who's facing us.
Hi,
She's
Bertha.
been here almost 5 years now, but is just very, very shy, which of course is fine. Every once in
Look
a
at
while,
her. She's like, stop talking about me.
Okay. She
I'm
has
out.
approached me every once in a while, and then whenever she does, she always bites me.
Yeah, she nibbles
So,
on Lauren.
I
She's
don't know.
sassy. She's
They're love
shy, but
nibbles.
She's sassy.
Yeah. So
Love nibbles.
yeah.
Micah, come here. I miss you. Come here. Come
Here,
say
focus.
hi.
Focus.
Sorry. So
Bird
birds.
stuff.
So birds. So So birds. Avian flu. Been in the news a minute. Now, does one of you want to tell us a little bit about it to start?
Sure. So avian influenza, similar to the flu that we get every year, it's always a different strain of the virus. It's the same thing with avian influenza. It's around every year, but usually you have 2 different types. There's low pathogenic and high pathogenic.
It's hard to say.
Yes.
I really messed it up
Lots
about
of
6
different
times
forms of
today.
origin. So normally every year it's low pathogenic, which doesn't really cause any issues. The word pathogenic they use, it's not about how infectious it is, it's more about the morbidity rate in our domestic animals. So low pathogenic means that if our chickens catch it, it's not a big deal. They don't show any symptoms of it, and they usually survive. They're asymptomatic. High pathogenic usually means there's about a 98 to 100% mortality rate. So it's a pretty serious deal. We're taking it very seriously here at CAS, making sure that all of our feathered friends are safe.
Which is why we're not in with them right now. And we miss them so much. Like Al, my Kool-Aid man,
No.
banging through the door. for snacks, and all of our other feathered friends. We are limiting, Janine, 90, yes, it's
real bad
scary.
News. It's real
Yeah,
scary.
it's real scary.
Which is
so
why we're
we
being super careful.
are limiting visitors even among staff. Only direct animal care members in charge of their care will be going in with them. And we've instituted a lot of different measures around here to flu-proof the place. Well, not flu-proof, I guess, but to keep them safe. So Annie, do you want to talk a little bit about that sort of stuff, like the birdios?
Yeah, and like why or like how did it get here? And also,
we got to back up a little bit.
It doesn't infect humans, right?
No, it does not.
So no worries. There's still just that other pandemic that's going on though, so don't forget about that. That other pandemic's not over, but you don't have to worry about this one if you are a human.
Yes.
Or a mammal in general.
So, like any virus, the more it kind of passes between animals, the more it has a chance to mutate. So at the moment, the current strain of avian influenza is not zoonotic, which means it can't pass to other species and humans. But that potentially could always change, and we'll probably do this later, but the whole rule that the industrial production line causes more chances of infection mean higher chance of mutation, which could mean potentially it will become zoonotic, but at the moment it's not. So we're all very safe here. Humans are.
Yes.
And the rest of our species, just not the birds.
Yes.
Not the birds.
Yes, but we are keeping them safe.
So now, speaking of the birds, how is it being spread around and stuff?
So
Fancy.
the way it's usually spread every year is by waterfowl and shorebirds. So that's the time of the year when they start to migrate back to their breeding grounds. So if you look at like a map of the U.S., you have different flyways, migration routes. This kind of goes from like north to south. I believe there's 4 of them, 4 regions in the U.S. And the waterfowl and the shorebirds, as they migrate, they go through the entire country and kind of bring this virus to all the areas that they end up coming back to.
They don't mean it. We still love them, and for
they don't
them,
know what they're doing.
yeah, just
doing their
germs,
thing.
right? Like just like us. Sometimes we're germy things, and so. But is it as dangerous for them, Annie, as it is for like our chickens?
It is not. So usually waterfowl and shorebirds, when they have it, they're asymptomatic for it.
Always here.
So they don't usually pass away from it. You can see it on occasion, but usually they're
like,
fine
see what?
for the most part.
And then, do you know why, Annie? Why is it a lot more risky for like chickens and turkeys?
Come on, get out of the way.
It's just how the virus works, and how viruses mutate. And I mean, I don't know the exact science behind why chicken DNA and other types of poultry like turkeys, pheasants, why those species are more affected, like on a biological scale.
Does it have anything to do with how we breed them to be ridiculously too large and then not have great ways to fight off this sort of stuff?
Yeah, that definitely plays a role. When we breed animals for certain qualities, we're not breeding them to live long and happy, healthy lives. We're breeding them for, how many eggs they lay and how fast they can grow. But it's not about like how strong their immune systems are. So our birds do tend to be more susceptible to things like this.
Poor babies.
Yeah.
Poor birds. All of them. Look at Stewie. He's like, it's sad. It's very sad.
It's sad. I think I need a hug, Annie.
He tipped his head, I swear. Hi, Pidge.
Meanwhile, as there are pigeons flying over
Yeah.
our heads. I mean, it is just a fact fact of like here at the sanctuary, you know, we're not just like an isolated like biodome or something, right?
Yeah.
We have pigeons who fly around and they live here, and there are, you know, we do have a nice pond on the property here. So yeah, geese and ducks and them come and they're just like, this is a cool spot. We like this pond. We like that the humans here don't bother us. So yeah, sure, we're gonna chill out here. And the little killdeer as well, which killdeer, weird name. Don't know why they have that name.
I know.
Super cute little shorebird. If you do want to look up that, don't look up the lash egg. But look up a killdeer.
Lash egg,
one
no.
word. One
Killdeer,
word.
yes.
Killdeer. They're super cute, and they're like shorebirds who are like, actually, I don't want to live at the shore anymore. I want to live in fields and stuff.
Yeah, when they walk, their bodies don't move. They just kind of like fly because their legs move so fast.
Oh,
Really
wow. I gotta scope it out.
Oh yeah.
I'm still learning things here about the killdeer and the spring onion grass and things that Lauren eats on her way down the hill. the trees that she licks on her commute.
Okay, we're gonna get back to Annie's stuff in a second, but I feel the need to
It's
defend.
biologist stuff.
I feel
don't
the need to
understand.
defend myself. The trees that I lick coming down the hill are maple trees who, after that ice storm, you know, several weeks ago, the branches broke. So this is the time of the year the sap is flowing. So if there are broken branches, then some of the sap is dripping out. So you can just like get the branch and be like, yummy. Okay?
That's what you get for throwing goat poop at me on camera.
Anyway, Annie, what were you talking about?
She's like, I don't know.
How cute killdeer are.
Yeah. Okay, let's get back to that.
Birds.
They're adorable.
Birds. Oh my god, Lord. That's hilarious. Okay, sorry. I cracked myself up for a minute there. Picturing you licking the maple trees.
I don't go into the whole tree trunk and just like, bleh.
Someone on Instagram commented, "Yummy."
It's just a little broken twig. And it's getting a little late for that now, but if you find a maple tree and it's got broken twigs and there's sap,
You can lick
you
it
should
too.
try it. Don't lick the trunk though. Don't lick.
Also, for what it's worth,
Can we focus?
I really want Laura to do a forager tour, so we'll have to make sure you can come here and sample one of our
Can't
trees.
see anything right now.
We can't. There's a Nina in the way. Lots of Nina
Hi,
fluff.
Nina.
We
It's
shall
like,
relocate.
this is not what the point is.
It's all just gone right down the toilet. But back to birds. Real hard to focus when we're here, as you know, and there's cute sheep running around and, you know,
We weren't even talking
maple
about
trees
the sheep, Andrea.
and other sort of distractions. But Annie, do you want to tell us a little bit about like what it looks like? How can we tell if a bird is struggling with avian flu? Like, what are some of the symptoms, maybe?
There are a lot of symptoms. Birds are tricky because they're so stoic. You don't really know that they're sick until it's pretty much too late.
Oh, no.
So a lot of the symptoms that they display when they're sick, no matter what the issue is, it does tend to look very similar. So you'll get things like being lethargic, inappetite, not wanting to eat. But with avian influenza in particular, you do see a few extra symptoms like purple skin. So it just means like hemorrhaging kind of below the skin and kind of tissue death on the tips of their combs and wattles
Oh,
and stuff.
that's scary.
Just not getting enough oxygen.
Well, we don't want that.
Yeah, I think also they pass pretty quickly from it. I think within 24 to 48 hours. As soon as you see symptoms, they're probably not going to be around for much longer.
So this is why we are being very, very
Yeah.
careful.
Yes.
And
we do provide really amazing triage care here when we do find sick animals, but with influenza, there's just not enough time to give them the care that they need to give them the support to pull through it. So we're taking it very seriously.
prevention is
Yes,
key. We
the
don't want to
big thing
treat
we're
it
doing
at all.
here is trying to keep it out of where the birds live. Yeah.
And that's tricky because we can track it in too, and spread it to them, right, Annie? So we're being really careful with who goes in to take care of them and sees them. And
Because it'll be in like the feces, right? So if you step in like a goose poo, and now all that stuff is on the bottom of your shoe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
or
not
you get
great.
on a car or on a. You get on a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Our muck rakes that we use to clean, we have to make sure that we're using separate tools for cleaning those houses. So we're not in with like other species where the wild birds can hang out and poop as well, and tracking that back into the birdhouses. So we're trying to account for everything, but it seems like as soon as we figure out a solution for one thing, 10 more things pop up. So we're kind of figuring it out as we go.
Because germs, it's hard. Germs are hard. They're everywhere. So Animal Care has been working tirelessly to really come up with a great plan to, make sure that we're preventing this. It started, we immediately are not visiting with our poor birds, and we miss them dearly. But they're also working on getting that. We also want to make sure we're maintaining a high quality of life for them. Obviously, we don't want to just keep them away for 6 months. So our awesome Animal Care team has already been setting up some like second barrier, like almost like a second house within a house sort of thing, so that we can still get our bird friends out and about and enjoying some of this springtime weather and still seeing, getting fresh air and grass. And so we're working on ways to make sure that they're protected, but can still be chickens and turkeys and enjoy their lives. So that is all.
This is probably not the last time this is going to happen, is it?
No, I think there's a good chance that we could see this again. I think we want to make sure that we're preparing for the worst. And there's other things that wild birds can carry that we've already had issues with. Like canker. You'll see like little lumps form in their mouth, and pigeons can spread that pretty easily.
Canker?
Yeah, it's like a parasite basically, but it causes stuff inside of their mouths to build up. You get like clotty stuff.
Doesn't sound great.
No.
Yeah. The wild birds, we appreciate their presence and the role they play in the larger environment, but they do pose a health problem to our residents, and we're trying to figure out how to mitigate that as best we can.
Yeah, we're not mad at our geese friends, certainly, for just doing goose things. Humans, on the other hand, we, this is it's similar. We've talked about this a little bit before with COVID. It's kind of similar in that we are forcing these animals to live in such conditions that these viruses can not just survive, but completely thrive and continue to mutate. And so, chicken agriculture, looking at you a little bit. So the best thing, not so much the geese, but the best thing that we humans can do is, to really just leave these poor animals out of these large-scale industries. And then, do you want to talk a little bit, Annie, too, about like people who have birds at their house, like,
or like if someone finds a bird, like a wild bird, and that bird looks really sick or has passed away, like what should the people at home know what to do about?
It depends on the bird, whether it's like your pet bird or whether it's a wild bird that you found, and what
They're like, show's over. Yeah, they got tired of us.
You're 6 minutes early, guys.
Let me see if I can entice someone else.
Oh yeah, we can.
Or if we want
The other side, we can move to the goat side.
Stretch our legs. Go on a field
It
trip.
has been a little rainy, so everyone's
hiding in the barn. Going on a field trip to the goat side here. Alice.
Maybe not you. Just naughty pants.
We love you, Alice, but also Alice.
Hi, Alice.
Right now.
Why? Why? Look at all these goats. It's a big old. We're going from the sheep pile to the goat pile.
Hey,
Rosie, you want to be back on camera? Cupid, come here. You're normally love to be getting snuggles and chewing on the camera. You look small when you lay like that. It's deceiving.
Hello.
There we go.
I will pet Cupid so that
More friends.
I think I
It's a
know.
hard job, but someone has to do it.
I know. It's tough.
Look, I love when they lay and like you see no legs. It's just so cute. You got your legs. Where'd your legs go? Rosie, where's
So we had a question on Facebook. Does avian flu eventually go away like human flu when flu season is over? Or does it hang around forever like coronavirus?
It does like colder temperatures. It does, die out eventually. We just have to kind of get through this season. So we're looking for the convergence of two different things right now. So one is warmer temperatures. There was a study where it did live longer on snow than it did on dirt. So it does seem to prefer, I think, like 38 degrees Fahrenheit seems to be its favorite temperature. So we're waiting for warmer temperatures.
That's very specific.
Yeah.
You go.
So we're like,
Don't
we're
get
waiting for
jealous. No. You can, leave her alone.
Hi, Rosie.
warmer temperatures.
Hi, Chester.
Thank you for knocking me over, Chester.
Sorry. Back to you, Annie.
Go time is
Back to
also
you.
really important. What Chester is currently doing is very pertinent topic.
Chester, don't eat the blanket.
Chester does
Anyway.
what Chester wants.
Yes.
I
Anyway,
usually love it.
so we wanted to get warmer, which is going to.
Warmer.
Chester.
So
There
hopefully
he
this
is.
won't be for the entire summer, but we just don't know at the moment. It could always like change and start to prefer warmer temperatures as it mutates. But hopefully it won't. Fingers crossed. And then the other thing is there are government organizations who are testing within like wild bird populations. So we're waiting for those infection rates to go down. So once we see both those things happening, then we can be a little less strict with our quarantine for the birds. But until then, it is a pretty big threat.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and then back to the other question,
Yes.
which is if you find a bird who seems sick or has passed, or you've got birds at home, and that could be like if you have companion chickens, or like if someone has like a parrot at home, or like the little parakeets. Yeah. Any type of bird. What should our friends at home know?
If it's your companion bird, you should contact your vet. If they're not doing well, like anything, if you have an animal that's not doing great, you should contact your vet. But I think all vets at the moment know about avian influenza and they know how to take proper precautions. And there is testing that they will probably want to do if they think that it is avian influenza. Hopefully it is not, and all of your birds be safe. But yeah, just keeping them inside as much as you can at the moment is going to be your best line of defense. Physical barriers is our key word for all
So
of
like
this.
maybe if you have chickens who you share your life with, maybe have like a pair of shoes that you only wear near those chickens. Or if you have like a parrot who lives in your house, don't have your shoes near that parrot.
Yeah, so making sure that if you have like clothes outside that might get bird poop on them, whether it's like your shoes or your jacket that you put on the ground or what have you, that they don't make it inside, or if they do, that they're in a contained area, like or go straight to the laundry or just stay kind of by your door, or outside preferably.
Yeah. And about wild birds, should they contact what, like the state environmental people?
For wild birds, your best bet will be, vets are also the resource for all of this because they usually will have wildlife rehabber contacts in the area. But a wildlife rehabber would also be a good call. If you're in New York State, the DEC has a list online of all of the registered wildlife rehabbers in your area. You can search by your county as well as what species they take. and find who's closest to you. Sometimes rehabbers are hard to get a hold of because they're always very, very busy. So you may have to call a few different people, but
And don't pick up the bird yourself, right?
ideally not.
Yes,
until you
ideally
reach
not.
someone.
Yes.
And if you do, try and not to touch them like with your exposed hands, or maybe grab them with a towel or gloves if you have them, and put them in a container of some sort that can keep them separate from any other animals that you may have. Ideally, you would not pick up the animal.
You got that, Cupid? You got that? You taking your notes? Well, this has been very informative. We hope it helps all of you who have any bird friends in your lives. A big, huge thank you to Annie and our animal care team who are
Have Hermione
tirelessly.
just appear out of nowhere.
Yeah,
on the screen.
she definitely just did. Yes.
Because she's a magical goat.
Yeah.
And that's what magical goats do.
Yeah, Hermione and
Like a
Arlo
flash.
That
She
makes
just appeared.
sense.
It was so cute.
But I do not want to cut our thank you short to our animal care team. They've been working tirelessly to beat this and prevent this. So we want to say a huge thanks and thanks for being here today, Annie. We appreciate your time. And friends, this is yet another lesson on why we do not want to support chicken industry, egg industry, etc. So be making those swaps for chicken, eggs, and all of our other animal products. That is the best way to help prevent these things from going forward in the future. So thank you all so much for watching us and joining us again live. A huge thanks to Annie.
Now Annie probably has like stuff to go do.
Annie's probably busy.
Small number of things to do.
Annie keeps busy, so we're gonna let Annie get back to it. But thank you all so much for joining us today. We miss you all. We hope to see you soon. And yeah, take care. Sending you much love. Love spoken here.